CMS Student News. The news starts now.
Good evening, CMS. I am Miss Palermo, and this is my PE partner, Mr. Penny, reporting for a CMS News special event. We would like to welcome you to our open house.
Tonight we'll present to you our specialist class expectations and some of the upcoming highlights of the 2016 school year. In this segment, we will explore our CMS music program and CMS physical education classes. Be sure to come back later to find out information on our quarterly classes.
First up, let's visit the music room with Miss D'Angelo.
Enjoy the show!
Yonder come day, day is a breaking. Yonder come day, oh my soul. Yonder come day, day is a breaking. Sun is a rising in my soul. Yonder come day, day is a breaking. Yonder come day, oh my soul.
Hi, I'm Miss D'Angelo and I teach chorus and general music.
A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
In chorus, students are graded on participation, so that's being prepared for class with a pencil and singing consistently and putting in effort every class period. They will also be graded on periodic singing exams as well as music theory tests. The concert dates are listed on the district calendar as well as on my school website. Just a rundown though, the winter concert is December 14th and the spring concert is May 17th. General music, students are graded on their participation and effort throughout class, and they have different focuses on world music and different genres of music. So 6th grade, they focus on Native American music as well as musical theater. 7th grade studies jazz, and 8th grade gets to learn how to play ukuleles. So that's it.
Hello again, this is Miss Palermo,
And Mr. Penny?
and we're just going to go over some of our grading requirements and dress requirements for our physical education class this year.
Okay, each day your child comes to physical education, they get a daily grade. It can be 100, it could be a 75, it could be a 50, a 60, or a 0. The grade depends on if they're prepared for class with a change of gym clothes, if they participate to the best of their ability in gym class, and the other grades, I guess, if they're not prepared for gym, they would have to sit out with what we do a writing packet, and that would be they'd get 50% credit. Now they have a choice to do that or not. If they want to just choose to sit out and watch, they can do that, but they'll also be getting a 0. The children were all told this year that if your grade is not 100 on Power School, then you'll be explaining to your parents why. So they know that. We ask that when they walk through the doors of the gym, that they just participate to the best of their ability. They don't have to be a superstar athlete. We want them just to give their best.
And proper dress clothes is required just for the success of our physical education class. So we'd like a t-shirt, a change of shorts, and some good sneakers that the kids can run around in moving comfortably. We don't want anything too tight, too short.
We ask that your student be in the locker rooms before the bell rings. We already talked about being prepared with a change of clothing. Really, the minimum requirement is a fresh, dry, clean t-shirt and some deodorant. Stick deodorant, no sprays, because we know what that can turn into in the locker room. Bringing personal property into the locker room is at their own risk. They were told that they have some choices. They can leave it in their school locker locked up. They can leave it in our office, one of our offices, and we'll lock it up for the gym period. Or they can put it in a gym locker and put a lock on that as well. But it's at their own risk. If they choose to just get dressed, leave it laying around on a bench or something, and someone comes in the locker room that wasn't in our class, for example, if someone forgot their lunch from a previous class and the custodian lets them in the gym, in the locker room, then things could go missing. So that's at their own risk. After school for sports, we really recommend having a lock for their locker that they're going to use. Please remove jewelry before class. We do not allow gum chewing in gym. And at the end of class, remain in the locker room until the bell rings. Any medical excuse notes that come to Ms. Palermo or myself, we always send them to the nurse. If you send your child to school with a note that says, they sprained their ankle at football last night, obviously they didn't see a doctor. We trust that it's a legitimate note. We send it to the nurse, she evaluates it, and she'll decide whether they can sit out or not. And we also ask the students to be responsible. Their behavior is responsible, all aspects of gym. In the locker room, in the gym, outside, going to those places, transition in and out, in the hallway, getting a drink at the water fountain and all that stuff.
Okay, we've sent this packet home with all of our students, and we hope that you guys have seen these, signed them, and your students have returned them, hopefully by next week, the latest. We'll be moving on to our next section. Thank you, and see you later.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your visits to your child's music and physical education classes. Be sure to come back for the second part of our program where we will visit your child's 4 quarterly classes.
Thank you, parents. Remember to return for the second part of our show. Make sure you're on time. I'm talking to you in the back there. Try to be on time for part 2. Welcome back. We hope you're enjoying your evening.
For the second half of our show, we will visit the 4 quarterly classes your child will have this school year. These classes consist of STEM, STEM coding, art and health. Here's Mr. Mateus for our STEM classroom.
Welcome, parents. My name is John Mateus. I teach STEM 6th, 7th, and 8th grade middle school. Basically what we do is we start off teaching STEM through robotics in 6th grade, where students make 2 different robots that can cover topics like speed, torque, traction, things like that. They drive the robots around in groups based off of instructions. If you look on the board real quick, you can see an example of what we did today, which is where we take exploded view drawings and then make them come to life by assembling different parts together to make robotic assemblies. In 7th grade, students build bridges out of balsa wood that they design on paper. They do hand drafting, they draw to scale, and then they build up on as a template. And then we test them to see how much weight they can hold. They do that, and then they also do a search and rescue robot that they build in 7th grade for their second project. In 8th grade, we do another robotics project that's customized that they design in groups. In the second half, they make a mousetrap car where we talk about simple machines, and we use a mousetrap as a motor to propel a car forward based off of their own designs. Very briefly, I just want to let parents know that 7th and 8th graders can sign up for Robotics Club, and this is an example of our robot that we made after school. Last year, they participated in a competition. That's about it.
Hi, and welcome to Room 411 of Health Education. My name is Ms. Bosworth, and we're so happy to have you tonight. Thank you for coming. I'd just like to talk to you about myself a little bit. This is my 7th year here at Cromwell. Before that, I taught kindergarten through 12th grade in Boston and California. Took about 10 years off to stay home with my children, and now I'm back here. I'm here in Cromwell, and I love it, and I'm very excited. Went to Hofstra University. I studied physical education, and I have my master's degree at Central Connecticut State University. Just to go over a couple of things, I will have your child 3 times at least during the year, once in the 6th grade, one in the 7th grade, and one in the 8th grade. And we do many, many engaging activities, and we go over a lot of units. First of all, when your child comes into my room, they grab the do now and they sit down and they start learning about maybe what we're going to be talking about that day, or introducing a new unit, or just reinforcing what we've learned in the past. They also take a please take, and so everything comes out and they get rocking and rolling. Just to go over a couple things, my learning targets are always up here. Your child, my students, always know what we're doing in the health room when they come in. It's broken down by 8, 7, and 6. I usually have the kids read them off, and we always go over it at the end of class. This lets them know what I want them to be able to do by the end of the class. Just to go over a couple things on some of the units that we'll be talking about. We talk a lot about nutrition. We talk about nutrition in the 6th grade, in the 7th grade, and in the 8th grade. We also learn how to be substance-free. We talk about drugs. We talk about alcohol, growth and development, first aid and safety, which is a new unit that we're going to be doing 7th graders that we're really excited about. The state has mandated that we start introducing CPR skills to the students, so we got my 2 dummies over here. And we're going to be talking about, in the 8th grade, mental health and stress management. And my 6th graders will be covering my self-esteem and me unit. So we cover a variety of different things. We address the whole health triangle. We do the physical, the social, the mental, and the emotional. And I have my grading criteria. That's in the table. Help yourselves to it. It lists all of what my class expectations are. And my grading criteria is on your website. Thank you very much for coming.
Hello, I'm Mr. Kiss, and welcome to STEM Coding. This is a relatively new class. It started just last year. In this class, students learn computer programming or coding. Over the course of the year, or the quarter, students will learn to write 2 computer languages, JavaScript and HTML. They'll do web design using a language called HTML. Each week, students work on programs in which they have to write code in order to complete them. The main goal of the class is to expose the students to the world of computer science. Most people believe that computer programming is only for super nerds like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg. I try to show students, like anything else, that they can actually learn to do it, and it's not as hard as people believe. Although your child might not start a Facebook or $1 billion computer company in their garage, they're going to learn the same basic skills that real programmers use, and they're going to see that this is something that they can continue doing in high school and college and even in their careers, as there's such a demand for people who know this skill. And this is just a start or a foundation of something that I think is really important.
CMS News, take 1.
Action.
So the other project we do in this class is we produce a weekly television show called CMS Student News. It streams every Friday morning on the internet. It's generally produced by the 8th graders in my class, but 6th and 7th graders can play a role in it too. Basically, the news highlights all of the great students and staff here at Cromwell Middle School, the great events, whether they be sporting events or extracurricular activities, or even just events that occur within different classrooms. It's a great way to find out what's going on around the school, and I encourage you to check it out Friday morning.
Hi, my name is Mr. Glowa, and I'm the art teacher here at Cromwell Middle School. Right now, our 6th and 7th and 8th graders are all doing some drawings, and we're going to hopefully dive into some clay and other things later on in the semester. Few things that I have about my class. I know everyone isn't an artist, but as long as you're putting in the work, participating, and putting in some effort, you should do fine in my class. If a student ever is kind of struggling, I will email home. I do like to talk with you guys and kind of make plans along each other. As long as you're being safe, respectful, and participating, there's no problem in art. Hopefully we get a lot of creative, artistic works that I can display in the school as well as in my room. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Thanks.
The specials also like to give the students the opportunity to participate in the gobble games, reindeer games, dodgeball tournament, and other activities. Thank you for your time. We're looking forward to a great year with our students.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your... John, that's totally John's. It was gone off the screen before I could even read it.
You can still see it.
No, it was gone.
We couldn't. No. Thank you, parents. Remember to return for the second. Parents, remember.
It's not moving anymore.